Thank God we got a win. We finally got a win. The man responsible for that win joins us now, Jason Gregor, from Edmonton, from Oilers Nation, from DFO, co-host and wrangler Frank Saravelli. But most importantly, the man who is now fought back in this little war that we were losing. We kept losing radio stations and sports talk stations, but today, big news out of the provincial capital that Sports 1440 will launch. And it will launch with this gentleman and his iconic afternoon show as the anchor, but it'll also stream on the Nation Network. You got us one. You got us a victory. We've been taking it on the chin for the last 3 or 4 years, but you got us one.
Hey, Robbie, I appreciate that, man. Well, you would know my introduction to sports radio way back in 2000 involved yourself and, of course, the legend John Short. And
yep.
You know what? Like sports radio is a passion of mine. It, really, I probably attribute it to listening to John as a young kid, and then me and my dad and my brother. And so, when the station went down, there's for the last 2 months, so many people in Edmonton come up to me and was like, man, like you guys got to get back on radio. And I love podcasting. I think it's wonderful, but so we're able to combine both with live radio. And I got Kevin Carius to come from Global, so he's committed, and that's awesome. He'll be our morning show guy. We're gonna have a fantasy show with Connor Halley. Fantasy sports is big, and then Low Tide, who's been around forever.
Yep.
So it's I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and to team up with the Nation Network to have it. So we got radio and digital is to me, I think it's great, and a huge shout out to Stingray because obviously they had the vision. It's kind of like a joint venture 3-way, so it's quite nice.
So walk us through this, Jason. I mean, I use the old Bob Hartley line, when the plug was pulled a couple of months ago, it was surprising but not shocking just because of the way the industry has headed. What happened? How did we go from that news to today's news?
Well, I guess I didn't even know when I started in radio that, you could own your own show. Like that's what we did with John. And so I've luckily continued that. So for anybody watching or listening who doesn't know, I owned the airtime. I should say I rented the airtime from Standard Radio, and then it was Bell Media the last 9 years. And so I kind of have I know the model and how it can work, and it worked for a drive show for 4 years. And I think it's a model that's very easily transferable to a morning show and midday shows. And then you throw in the digital, and I'm pumped to be live, when we do it on YouTube. And on Facebook as well. So it's really going to be it's the community. I'm a big believer, and I know you do a lot in your community in Calgary. Sports fans are some of the most giving people. As much as they love their team, they love critiquing it, they love cheering it, but they just love sports. And sports is such a huge part of our life. I think it's more important now than ever for physical activity for kids and just playing the game. I'm not talking pro sports. I'm just talking sports. And then, obviously to watch the game and it unifies us. Like, how many strange people can you go up to and have a conversation with that starts about sports? And they're like, hey, that's a good guy, or she's a nice lady, because we have a connection through sports. And I think it was missing in Edmonton. It's a diehard sports city, and I'm excited that we're part of it to bring it back.
Yeah, that was the thing that shocked me the most, that it was Edmonton, right? Vancouver's was shocking, but Edmonton was also shocking because of exactly that. It's communal. It's part of the community. It's part of, you can go all the way back, the old, CJCA days. I mean, there's been there's been some variation of sports talk in Edmonton for, decades.
Since 1980, when John was the first sports talk host, I think.
That's right. But that was the first daily. There was pieces before that too, right?
Yeah.
Brian Hall would do afternoons and take calls at every once in a while, that sort of thing. So there was always a great lineage there. What do you anticipate the Nation Network's role being in all of this? I know they're your digital broadcaster, but it's kind of the next stage of this, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. No, they're just as important. I don't think radio or digital is one more important than the other. The big aspect of we're going to use a lot of the talent from there, which is nice. So we'll have some good cross promotion, which is great across the whole Nation Network, which is fun. Also, it will be like digital. Hey, I'm doing this from my phone right now, right? It's amazing how technology is advanced, and people are on their phone lots. And so you're able to stream the show not only live on YouTube and Facebook, but to me, Robbie, it's about after the show when you put clips on. Maybe somebody missed something, or there was a real good conversation about a certain topic, you can take that clip or reel, and now we push it out. And, there's over 100,000 followers on Instagram. There's 85,000 on TikTok. There's 115,000 on Facebook. And then the Twitter accounts between mine and theirs is close to 140,000. So we're really able to kind of push it, show we're going to be able to market the station and the shows across the network and really give sports fans lots of good sports content.
Understanding that you are your own operator and you're your own business, and some of this may be sensitive, so please do not feel like you have to. But I'm kind of curious about the relationship with the radio station. As you mentioned before, you've always been a unique case because you owned your own, you bought your own airtime, you owned your own program. Is the entire inventory yours at 1440? How does that part work?
No, there's a percentage. Obviously, we rent it, so we get the larger percentage of it. And Susan Reed, who's the GM in Edmonton of the Stingray, and then of course Jackie Ray, who's the PD. Well, Susan and I worked together for many years at Bell Media. We get along great. She's awesome, and obviously Jackie's a huge sports fan. Like she joked, there's going to be a lot more curling segments on our station now with Jackie Ray being the PD and Marty Stevens. You know Marty Stevens.
Oh, I know Marty really well. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, Marty Stevens is the sales manager.
Oh,
so
okay. Well, you know what?
I know all the people there. Which is fantastic. It was really cool. Terry Evans, who's long time, is one of the few guys who's been around longer than me in the city, and it's awesome. And of course, with K97 there in the same building, our studios are right side by side now, so that'll be pretty neat. Him and Karis were already juicing each other this morning when they had a little staff announcement. So the relationship there is great because I have past experience with them, and Susan approached me fairly quickly after 1260 went down, and she just said, hey, what do you think about this? And so we just kind of talked and evolved, and they were very open because I told them, I said, hey, I want to have the digital component with the Nation Network. Obviously, I have a great relationship. Jay and I were partners for years. We're friends. Bag Milk, Tyler, Frank, all those guys, yourself, Rob. Like there's so many people, Boomer, that I know personally from there. So it's kind of great to unify, and a lot of times it's it's about relationships in business and who you know. And luckily, I know kind of all the people involved.
So I was making light of the fact that Edmonton does have a mall, and it's a very nice mall. Are you broadcasting live from the mall now?
Yeah, I will be on the second floor.
I can go to the pirate ship and then come see you.
Oh, right above the Lego store, man. So,
is it right above the Lego store?
Now, Robbie, this will be right up your alley. So yes. I'm already thinking about so with the digital component, we can have one of the digital teammates from the Nation Network, and we're already thinking about, and I've talked to them all, like everybody thinks they're a faster. So we're going to see who's the fastest skater at Sports 1440 amongst listeners, and we're going to have competitions at the mall some days, and we can video them. So I'll be watching it live while we do the show and doing play-by-play. We're going to do lots of fun stuff.
I like that. Well, that's the thing, and no disrespect to Bell and Rogers, but I guess it is rather disrespectful. There wasn't a lot of ingenuity coming anymore. Right? They were just going through the motions. You're different than most of them because you were your own operator, but you need some of that ingenuity. You need some of that new thinking, I think, to kind of breathe a little life into the product.
Well, that, and also, I made it when I was building our team out with Connor and Declan and Brandon. I needed some young guys, Rob. Like John Short gave you and I opportunities.
Yep.
There's not a lot of places for younger people to get their foot in the door. And, that's why I opened up a show. The only way you get better in any job is you got to get reps. 100%. And, so now, Connor's going to get more reps. Brandon's going to get more reps. Declan's going to get more reps. And, a lot of other people. And that, to me, makes it exciting. And, they're going to have different ideas and, bring a little youth into it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Where can this go? I mean, now in this scenario, there are so many teams that are turning away from traditional radio. But mostly because I think they're being turned away. I mean, is there any sense that at some point you could be the home of something on that station?
Oh, as far as abroad, yeah, you know what? I will say this, as Susan and Jackie and them, obviously, like, this is a starting point. Obviously, it's going to grow bigger. And, the plan is to, to incorporate some more shows into it. And obviously, we'll have simulcasts from other, sports stations. So it's going to be sports around the clock, not instantly because there's some contracts that have to expire first, but that'll be it. I honestly think, Rob, this is a model that if you combine the radio and the digital, that you could look at and say, hey, you know what? Like, you look at Fan 960 in Calgary. Why not? Why wouldn't they be teamed up? Like you got a good relationship with Boomer. Like, to me, there's lots of synergy matters, and I think too often people get caught up in not wanting to work together, and working together is going to benefit our audience. I think it's going to benefit our product, and ultimately it's going to benefit our sponsors, because they're going to have more people listening, watching, downloading, viewing the shows.
I feel like I am in with your whole church group here right now. You are singing the hymns that I will absolutely sing right back at you. It's collaboration.
Yes,
it's not institutional. It's
No.
institutionalism that is killing media in this country. It's this is the way we did it. This is the way we always do it. No, you have to find the new ways. You have to be collaborative. But we all want to be in our little fiefdoms, and we all want to be in our little silos, and we're all protecting our little bags of gold. That's what it is, Jason. That's what it is. Because you're absolutely right. You are 100% right. It is the model that will take this format forward.
Well, you know what? I'm lucky and blessed that the Nation Network and Stingray, and they partnered up with Just a Game Productions, and we have something that not a lot of places have around the country right now, and I'm very excited to, obviously, if in any business venture there's risk for sure, but I've seen the template. The Nation Network has proven the digital works. I think I've proven for 18 years, how to work it on radio, and obviously Stingray's pretty successful, so we can do it.
You're making me old.
Well, you've been around longer than me.
I know, and you were kind enough to give me the name back, which was
nice. No, hey, buddy,
I never got a chance to thank you publicly. But thank you.
You were the OG of that. Although, to be honest, Robbie, you got to remember, I voted strongly for Just a Game, because I knew that you were leaving very briefly. So Just a Game, JG, Jason Gregor, like, that's why I was always one up. Yeah, you were always one up on me. I know that. Yeah. I mean, the fact that you have not brought up a Bert reference is just shocking to me at this point. Well, does your audience, do they know about Bert?
No.
Have you told them?
No. Oh, yeah. No. That's the first thing I did, Jason, was come on. Yeah. Let me tell you some embarrassing things. That's how we always start.
Bert was like, that's the nickname, though. Like, it's a good nickname that's like timeless.
It's
right?
timeless, all right.
Like, we hadn't texted each other in a while, and when you got me a text there, I was like, Bert, how you doing a few years ago? I was dying. I loved it. Because Robbie had voiced a few commercials, and he sounded like Bert from Bert and Ernie. And God, I was dying. I just couldn't get over it. So I called him Bert for the longest time. It's one of my favorites. I've come up with a lot of nicknames.
You used to leave me notes and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that's right.
Term of endearment, right, Robbie?
Oh, no, I never took it as anything different. Never took it as anything different. Who have you heard from today? I'm kind of curious, because it's been interesting watching the social response, but who have you heard from today?
Oh, man. So many people. It's kind of been amazing. Like, I knew once this announcement would come out, and I don't even know who said the quote. It's not my line, but I think it was Craig McTavish who said, I was like drinking water out of a fire hose. And there's so many things going on, and you know what? I've had people from all the pro teams, a lot of the junior teams, the Oil Kings. They're all like, man, we're excited for this. How can we partner up? Which is fantastic. And then just lots of media people across the country. A lot of listeners, of course. Edmontonians were really missing sports talk radio. They were. And, one about, obviously, you can watch and listen to shows like yours and stuff, but, local sells first. That's what matters. People in Calgary, that's what they want. Of course, they'll listen to interviews about Edmonton and stuff. Great. And vice versa. But ultimately, they care about their teams, as they should. Right. Yeah. That's talk to the converted. And so it's really been overwhelming. I've had a few, players and coaches and managers send me texts and stuff. So it's awesome. Even my mother sent me a note. So that was great.
Oh, there. I was worried about that part, but that's nice that she's back talking to you. But to me, and I go back to the beginning, this is a win today. That's the most exciting part to me, is that I felt like this business has been taking lots of losses, and the fact that you've been able to cobble together a win like this is amazing. And then that's the, Adam, I texted you on Friday because Adam kind of put out the tweet that got everybody's attention. And from a business standpoint, I hope a lot of people pay attention. Collaboration, the way that the nation's doing its business right now, it's different. To me, it's really exciting, and I hope that spins off for you. I'm very curious to see what the response is from your former clients and your new clients.
Well, I can tell you, Robbie, that the new clients are I've already signed some new clients even before, because obviously sales doesn't happen overnight, so I had to keep it hush here for a bit behind the scenes. But my existing clients are, they're like me. They're sports fans, and they heard the void from a lot of their employees and friends and people around the community, and so they're all pretty jazzed up to come back. And a lot of people think, this, because now it's like a collaboration with three different parties here, that there's a chance to do something different and something unique. And obviously, it's still, at the end of the day, when they turn the microphone on, it's going to be serious sports talk radio, right? Like, it's not going to. I got guys who have lots of experience, and we've got a boatload of guests, and we're going to have like a countdown and unveil people that are going to be contributors, whether it's weekly or daily, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Is it too early? Is Strudwick coming back?
Struddy actually is. He will be back, not in the exact same role, though. Struddy's an unbelievable coach, and it's something he's super passionate about, and that's what he's wanted to do for a while. And so he will. He's going to be focusing more on coach and not pro coaching. He's really good at developing young kids, like 11, 12, 13, 14, which is, what I think, if you want to talk about being innovative, Rob, I think one of the biggest things we have backwards sometimes in hockey is we have all the best coaches only when you get to U17 and AAA. And I'm like, why shouldn't we have the best coaches with the younger kids to help them at an earlier age develop their skills? They enjoy the game more. They become more passionate. And Struddy, you know what? He doesn't know how to work the internet, so he probably won't be watching this, thankfully. But honestly, he is an unbelievable coach. And like, I've seen him, like, he's coached my son at camps, and kids love him. He's so relatable to the kids, and he's such a good teacher of the game. So he'll be involved in the show, but just not in the exact same role.
That's cool. When does everything get launched? When does everything start?
Tuesday, September 5th, 7 a.m. Kevin Carius, aka his nickname, Robbie, you'll like this one. Dick Malinowski is his nickname, and he can explain to all the viewers when he gets on the air on 7. And we got a few really good co-hosts that are going to be coming on with him every day as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited. Like I say, you built this empire, and it was really a shame that it went away for brief time anyway, but I'm not surprised at all by today's announcement. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for, like I say, fighting back. And the collaboration part's the fun part for me, because I think you're exactly right. And I think it's the future. And I hope that people pay attention to what you're doing. Congratulations, Jason. This is amazing. Stunned silence again. Stunned silence again. All right.